Doom, 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 doom. All right, all right, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is
Did you even
episode
name this
number
episode?
336. Um, we're just gonna call this one. Let's not go back to JJK. But anyway, this is Vibrating Sheep with episode 336 of Granblue Radio. We are at the very end of the Jujutsu Kaisen um, collab. But anyway, before that, DJ, um, did you
Yeah.
go in on this one? You did, right? On all of the new stuff? Like, there's so much new stuff.
I have all the characters, except for Lobelia, but I haven't actually tested anything. But the first character I got is Neela.
Okay. All right, so let's go through this, and I'll figure out my spark, the actual spark after. So we're gonna start with Jujutsu Kaisen. We had new characters coming from that, and a new summon and a new mechanic for the whole thing. So let's
Oh,
go ahead.
I forgot to put the summon. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, summon's pretty good.
It's a decent one. So let's go by acquired recent. So we start with Nobara and Maki, the collab characters. Notably, they're I think only the third SSR Earth collab characters because it's Uma's, Love Lives,
And
and
this,
them, right? Which one?
and this.
Yeah. Let's just make sure. Series tie-in. Yeah, we now can make a team of Earth characters with just tie-ins. Anyway, um, these characters are secretly very good, and by secretly I mean like some of our crewmates were testing them out, and they out-damaged characters like Beatrix, and Beatrix, when given enough time, just poops out damage like crazy. So let's go take a look at Nobara and Maki here. So they the Nobara portion of it is that they have a nails stat. So each
Goes up to
skill,
5.
each skill they get one. At the end of the turn, they eat up 2 nails to cast their skill 3, which is a 2-hit nuke, along with stackable attack down, defense down.
Goes to 40. It's pretty good.
hmm Um, so how much is the plane damage they do based on their nails with the CA?
2 less than 200k per nail.
Okay. So 199,998. Yeah, Ortrus in chat says I've seen them outperform Alethea. They do lots. All right, so then they get a 1-turn cooldown cut, and their cooldowns are not exactly long because we got Girl of
4477.
yeah. So we got a 3-hit Earth Nuke here. It gives them skill stacking boosts with skill cap and skill damage, along
Yeah,
with
that's a 5% each cast, up to 30%.
this skill. This skill pretty much you can consider it to be up all the time, right? Where it's like it's got 1 turn of downtime, I guess. But that's a lot of uplift. Um, every 3 out of 4 turns they just have this. Actually, no, they get a 1-turn cooldown cut. So this is always up. Girl of Steel.
Pretty much, unless they, are paralyzed.
Okay. And then they get a stacking increase to their damage cap with Whirling Naginata.
2% each cast goes up to 10%.
Okay. And so what's their skill cap up cap? Is that like 30% or something?
It is 30%.
Okay. So on skills, they'll get plus 40% from this. And then the last part of their skills part is Hidden Toss here, where they get Dodge All and Sharp Boost to Hostility. Is it guaranteed?
It's full. It's
Okay.
full.
Wow. And then they have multi-attacks with no downside, right? They don't get extra hostility. They don't
Nope,
have
they just have a dodge rate.
Yeah. And then if they dodge that turn, which is guaranteed with Hidden Toss, by the way, then they
They activate
activate.
Whirling Naginata.
Yeah. That's a lot. They have 4 red skills. They have 2 separate reactive nukes.
They get their nails by doing skills, by the way.
Yeah, so on turn 1 they'll have 4 nails, and so that's um, two turns worth, and then they'll probably CA with this uplift and the fact that they've gained a minimum of 32 meter a turn, and so like they'll in 3 turns get 2 more. So then this is all really good.
It's a good loop.
It is a very good loop. And amusingly, they're axe spear, so I'm just considering them to be the Arun sisters, the secret Arun sisters, along with Nemone and Malu. Not that they have any synergy whatsoever with those two characters, but it's funny. Someday, Nemone. Someday. Someday they'll give you an actual set of skills, and they'll figure out what to do with you.
Yeah, it's called Fire.
Yeah, that's actually true. All right, so that was one part of it, and then the other part of the collab that came in is the lore accurate Gojo Sensei. This is a lot. Like, so
I like how, looking in the combo call name, the first half is unobtainable because it can never be in anyone's calls,
mhm,
and it's a domain expansion. Unsurprisingly,
right. So yeah, here's Unlimited Void, and what it is that Gojo ends any local field effects and puts his own in place for 1 turn. And during that time, the enemy deals 0 damage. So it does, the grovel slash I forget what Ray's like I-beam effect is called, but it does that debuff, except that instead of being a debuff, it is a field effect. And then it also gives all of your allies, with the notable exception of anybody with a Mjolnir or Dark Azusa, uh, Wind Azusa also technically, but Wind Azusa can take away her own miss drawback. But anyway, the point is that like characters like
they have
that,
God Sight,
Hamaru, yeah. Everybody else gets God Sight. You hit always. You go through dodge. You go through immunity.
which also includes apparently Mugen.
Yeah, which is great because Mugen versus Mugen, Gojo wins. This thing is freaking outstanding. I actually put this in over Bellringer Angel because his stats are higher in Mugen. So
Also allows you to attack that turn.
yeah, and he lets you deal your damage that turn, and your turns in Mugen tend to be really beefy because you're like 6 chaining. So this is this is sick. There are lots of uses to it. I mean, people will be like, "Oh man, it takes 12 turns." Like, there's a lot of long fights where you can actually just use this. um, and then the fact that it ends local fields because his domain is more powerful than everybody else's domain. Like, sure, some people complain it's like you can't use him with Fediel. It's like, okay, then don't. They, there's other places that you don't have to bring Fediel, and you can bring Gojo here. This is so sick. I wonder what they'll do with this in the future to just like have one-time field summons, or if this will just be unique to JJK because of domain expansion. Yeah, 10th Tech is like, oh no, Dark can't use Fediel. They'll have to settle for every other amazing character that Dark has, including ones who have recastable local fields. Well, that one's mostly Vikala.
That was only Makala and Dark.
Yeah, technically Niers is recastable, but she's not going to be around long enough most of the time to recast it. But yeah, it's like just hit the button again. But anyway, there's so many places for Fediel, and there's actually places for Gojo, and you can use them separately, or you can use them together and just wait for Fediel to die, because sometimes my Fediel just eats it because she's not Seox and she's not near. And so she's basically just by default the only one who can take damage. Anyway, this was just a really cool collab. I had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DJ, you said that you actually tested out Anila so far?
We have other characters before that.
So which ones do you want to go to? The uncaps then?
Yeah, uncaps.
All right,
They came
let's.
they came out chronologically before.
All right. So we do have a Tales of Arcarum going on, and every two Tales of Arcarum at this point, we have two new Evoker uncaps. So let's start with the one that you spent the most time on, which is Frau.
Oh, Frau's amazing. End story.
The new art is so good. So I actually did skip through that Fate episode. Does she cut her hair? Does it say or?
No, it's like everyone else where they just change their appearance when they get their power increased.
Okay, so she's just right back to normal once she's outside of the world bubble.
Well, yeah, and then they stay it stays permanently after you defeat the world.
Okay. All right. So as always, we
By the
have
way, she only has one decision choice, and it's like the easiest decision choice.
man. All right. I think that Lobelia also only has one decision point. I'll find out in a few weeks probably. All right. So the first thing that you update on her is the CA, which is minus multi attack. So is
50% DA, 50% TA. It's the DA is actually apparently local.
only the DA?
Oh, this might need to be. I need to look at this again.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna go Grimnir right now.
That's fair. Because if it's local, then it's awesome. But yeah, I see Wiki kind of getting its well, so the icon says that it is a normal debuff, but uh the tooltip on the wiki says duration 2.5 turns, which means that it'll start at 3 turns and then the turn will tick down, so it'll be 2 turns by the time you actually look at it. And so
I'll find out in a minute.
okay, but it's extendable, so that's
Yeah,
that's really
the
significant.
problem is that usually that skill's not up during that time.
That's fair. Because
Usually it's keywords.
that's right. You have 2 turns to hit your 6 turn cooldown, as opposed to Indominus where you're just like, oh, it comes back. So that's fair. But we always talk about this where minus multi attack is sneakily good until you realize how good it is, and then you're just
My Frau just heals for 10k on an attack.
well done. Uh, but we were actually we're gonna get to this with freaking Vania, but Vanya's minus DA minus TA is powerful enough that even though Bennu like buffs his own double attack and triple attack, with those buffs up, he single attacks, and you're just like, oh, that casually saved me 80,000 damage. That's pretty powerful.
Thank God that guy hits hard.
He hits really hard. What a jerk. But yeah, so something like this where she has the opportunity to extend it or just do it again, you know, it's subtly powerful, and I appreciate it even if it isn't flashy. So the next things that she gets at level 90, she gets the Devil's Grasp, which is so anytime she activates her skill.
It's local, by the way. I just saw.
Okay, so whenever she activates her damage skills, which matters because this is the first time we have this wording. Most of the time it's cast. Then she gets bonus fire damage, and the base cap is around 600k. With all of your boosts, DJ, what does it go to?
I think it's a million something. I'll find out next time she attacks. I'm
because
about to turn 7.
because yeah, when things auto activate, um, then she will also do it, which is important for her skill 4 over here at level 100. The next thing, so at level 95, she gets Devil Reversed up, which is boost to team skill specs, which is 10% cap, which is the important part. So when she's in the back line, you get 10% more skill cap, which is, it's free. You won't. A lot of the time when you have Frau in the back line, though, you won't be getting that bonus for very long, and instead you'll get Strength Upright, where you've always got the double damage skills, and then
I
so this.
lied, by the way. It's a 600k.
Mhm.
It's 2.8 million on Grimnir right now.
Yeah, yeah, with all of the extra damage that you get.
Yeah,
2.8 million when she swings is a pretty good number. So, solid fortitude. The second thing that happens is you get a 1-turn cut to all ally skill cooldowns, which I am sad that it only happens once.
I mean, it'll be probably broken to happens more than once, to be honest.
I mean, that's true.
No, second note, doesn't work well with Kingpin. That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't work well with Kingpin on full auto. If you're doing manual combos, then it's fine. But a lot of the time, you just want to press that button and get you rid of your MC, so that other characters can die and bring in your MC back in.
Oh, I don't even need my MC.
That's fair, but there are some fun ones. We'll get to that when we start talking about King. And then the last thing that she gets is Splendor, where she consumes 50% of her max HP, which is a lot. She gives herself whoop, go ahead.
Yeah, so I originally wrote up when it first came out the cost, and it's like max HP makes it worse when you have more HP, but depending on how much she heals, it doesn't matter, and she heals a lot.
Yeah, so you said you're healing for 10k a swing?
Yeah, because I have two of the staffs, which brings it up to 90% from the grid. She has a 15% heal ring on herself, and a 20% heal EMP.
I need to actually make sure that I roll.
And because it's counting as double casting.
Oh, never mind. I do have the Holy Grail of Rings on her, skill cap and healing. It's just that I got the minimum possible healing value, I think. It's fine.
Yeah, because she's double casting, the 2000 heal from Indominus is way more.
And so basically, like, she's healing for your entire team for like 40k during the effect of Splendor, because once for the so she does it 3 times on normal attacks, and if she didn't normal attack that turn, then instead that means she CA'd and she just presses the button normally. So you heal for like 30k of that, not counting like any other times that you hit it. And the cooldown's only 6 turns. Did you ever run into any problems with recasting it where she didn't have enough HP to recast after those 6?
Well, no. I haven't brought her to Lucy yet. I probably should. The reason why Devil's Graph the key wording is activations. You activate twice. Yeah, when you go back from front.
Oh wait, so does it happen twice when?
Yeah, that's why it's 2.8. It's
okay.
Because it's like 12. It's like 14 million. Not 14 million. 1.4 million twice. That's why.
Man. So do your actual attack, and if there's red heat, then she gives herself Chaser and Supplement. Then after that attack, you cast Indominus twice for its like 3 to 4 million. Then for each of those, you get an extra 1.4 million. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at the damage. She actually does slightly more, like 20 million more damage in Grimnir than both either Tien with a ring and what's his face, Wilness. Granted, mine has a ring, but she also doesn't have skill cap on her ring.
Yeah, I need to test this out for myself. I've been doing some other stuff in the meantime, but yeah, I really do enjoy the glow up that Frau got. Philippopotamus says, I want to uncap Frau, but I have lots of farming to do. I also have to uncap Keim first. Yeah, I know how it is with these. Tails gives you a good opportunity, though. All right, so are you ready to move on to Lobelia, DJ, or is there anything else you want to say about Frau?
Frau's great.
Frau is great.
The 15k shield even helps a lot just to mitigate any damage. Because I'm doing Street King with Gangster Knife in hand. I would just already take less damage at 50% anyways.
That's fair. All right, so let's move on to Lobelia then. The number one thing that everybody was laughing and cheering about. So I actually intentionally did not pick up his Domain of the Evoker until today. And the reason for that is that boost to an ally's attack and defense on their activating the tower reversed, which is every time they press a skill. And previously, every time anybody pressed the skill while Lobelia was in the back line with your domain, then it would post the skill damage cap and supplement skill stackable whatchamacallits on them, icons. It would give them an icon that says attack and defense up. And it would add an additional animation every time. And so it just added time to everything that you did, and people were just like, please stop. And so they took that away. It now doesn't animate, and it just happens when you
you'll
do it.
find out that also the same thing is with Anila.
Oh yeah?
Because she grants you after when you do the 20 hit or 30 hit, I forget what number it is.
Mm-hmm.
In her passive, you just automatically granted the chaser.
Oh, that's actually very similar to Grimnir again, because Valentine's Grimnir, when you fulfill the hit requirement, he just gains the gales, and you're just like, oh.
Well, yeah, but that's not a buff, really.
True, it's a counter. Anyway.
Because this affects the entire party.
Okay. So here's the thing for Lobelia. So the new thing that he gets is that his CA gives him one more magic crest. So that's another way for him to gain his resources. As it is, he gains like one every turn he hits the destructive urges, and he gains one every 3 turns when that callous fist happens. Now he gains an additional incidental one every 3 or so turns, every 3 to 4 turns when he gets le dernier concert. Pardon my French. But incremental, noticeable, good. Support skills, new things that he gets. The tower reconstructed. So when he gets that Callous Fist proc every 3 turns, he now heals your team. It's a pretty mild one. It's 2,000. But you know what? It's free. You didn't have to do anything for it. So, it's appreciated, especially since when Lobelia is in front, you're often doing hard modes. So,
yeah,
that's there and it's nice. Level 95, you get the new tower reversed and the new magician upright. The tower reversed is what gives you supplemental skill damage. So here's the amplify skill damage. It goes up to 50k supplemental when casting skills. A lot of the time, if you're trying to swap Lobelia in, you'll press a bunch of buttons and then they'll get like 30k swap or whatever, amp or whatever, and then he'll come in. So that's still noticeable. It stays on. So the other thing is when he becomes upright, his own skill damage gets amped 10%, which is very noticeable.
He's always casting every turn anyways.
Exactly. And he also gets the what's it called? He has Renegade Firebrand, the Thunderbolt of Disaster effect when he comes in. And then the
also to know that's amp and not skill cap up.
It's true. It's better than cap up. And then the last part of this whole puzzle is here, Partition d'Air. So it's a red skill. So when he comes in, you will want to make sure to hit this first before you hit Renegade Firebrand, because it does earth damage. Then it puts on a supplement damage taken debuff, and then for the number of magic crests that Lobelia has, it does more hits, up to 11 hits. And I've seen it do it does the Alethea numbers of damage where it's like 18 million or something like that to reward you for having 10 magic crests. And then you hit Renegade Firebrand to start doing Lobelia things. Or, the other option, since this character is so modally versatile, you can just hit Warbringer a bunch of times and benefit from super low cooldowns. But Partition d'Air is one of those where you look at it and you're like, this is kind of powerful on paper, but also doesn't do anything.
It literally doesn't change his game plan.
Yeah. Like, Frau's game plan changes a lot from her hitting skill 4.
She becomes mega healer instead of just occasional healer.
Like, Astariola's changes not really his play pattern. It just gives you assassin
makes
twice
it so
as
he
often,
could actually,
3 times as often.
It makes it so he could actually CA whenever it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Kimes changes his the most. We've talked about
He
that a
literally
lot.
has 4 toolkits.
Yeah.
Speaking of toolkits, that's a new thing.
Yeah, you can finally freaking see this whole thing. This shout outs to this UI update that actually lets you look at all of these options without having to go into battle. And how every single one of his important skills has alt version, 4 alt versions, and then
He
4
is the Joker.
options. He really is.
The fool, they say.
All right. So anyway.
And Maria Teresa exists.
Yeah.
That was actually like the worst one of them all.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, going back to Lobelia, like some of the more prominent Earth players who create content were just like, you don't need to unlock this. Everything that's important is already there.
It's literally anything before that, really.
Mm-hmm. It's like you get amped skill damage here, you get supplemented skill damage to the other members of your team, you get the extra crests so you can use more stuff. Like all this, the only thing this button does is damage.
You know, destructive urges casts every turn pretty much. You
Yeah.
know,
And it's just like,
and it's not as Warbringer.
and the only time this thing does its full damage is the turn he comes in. The rest of the time, you're probably not going to be at
You're
10 because
probably Warbringering.
you're probably hitting Warbringer whenever you can because this is the real winner over here. And you get to, press Warbringer like what? A decently higher amount of times because of the new
Because
change
of
to
the
the
CA
CA.
change.
Yeah. You get to press it earlier and you get to, press it more often because of that. And that's more than enough, really.
You really don't need Partition to Air.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll do this, but I will say that Lobelia has one of my favorite stories so far. I will read Frau's in a bit, but Lobelia's uncap fates
I
are
mean, you probably
actually hype.
figure out that her friend actually exists and is real.
Yes, I did see that part. But yeah, what they did to Frau makes me kind of excited about what Hasalia can do.
Oh, I'm already getting the Moon Indians because I need those.
Yeah. We'll see what they do to Alanon, Katz, and Geisenborger. But
It's really hard because the thing is that with
Mhm.
these updates, they don't change the skills.
No, they only change passives and add one new skill.
So it's like, how do you fix Alanon?
I don't know. I really don't.
Like, you have to fix his skills, and that's the problem. They don't.
Every single one of his skills does something completely different from each other, and also has a 12-turn cooldown.
CA, you reduce cooldowns, I guess, but it doesn't help that one of his skills locks meter gain.
Whoa, man, they got a lot of work to do with Alanon. They don't have as much work to do with Katse, and actually, what we're going to talk about next has already given Geisenborger a glow up. More than a lot of these other evokers, although some of them benefit more than others. It doesn't benefit near at all. It's great. All right, so we're moving on to the new class that we got, King.
Nier kind of needs the MC to be live.
Yep. So let's go talk about King, the new class that is a combination of Bandit Tycoon and Nighthound, which is kind of a surprising update. But
You're king in the streets.
King in the streets. I'm not gonna finish that rhyme, but anyway. So
I was hoping you wouldn't.
where do we want to start with this? There's a whole lot going on here.
Okay, this class is just good in general. You don't even need the kill yourself passive skill
Yeah.
because you can just literally just play this class.
You can just play this class and just beat things down. All right. So actually, here's the first thing that I want to point out is that the act of mastering this class gives every class in tier 4 or extra 2 3% normal attack amp, which is quite powerful for a passive that you don't
Berserker
even.
loves
Yeah.
that.
Berserker loves that. Glorybringer loves that. Runeslayer loves that. Anything that attacks loves that. So it's like, I guess Monk doesn't.
Asparis.
Yeah, Monk doesn't quite love it as much because it's normal attack amp and not skill amp. But it's quite powerful. All right, so let's all right, fine. Let's talk about this as a frontline class first. We'll ignore the Nighthound part until the end. So here you get Banquet, which says in 2 turns, you give the enemy onslaught. You get yourself the assassin buff,
One
so uncaps
assassin.
1-hit assassin, and um, you also end their cooldown for all damage skills when you do that.
Good thing one of the EMPs is a damage skill as well. It's a
And
pretty good damage skill, by the way.
you also give yourself 3 turns of Chaser, which conveniently lines up with the whole thing where that happens in 2 turns.
It is superior damage chaser, so you can have another fire elemental chaser, whatever on there.
And it can only be used when you have an Ox weapon, so you have to have dagger/gun or gun/dagger. So here's their passives. You get a boost to the amount of rupees you get, so it's like sure. Everybody gets bounty hunter success rate up, which is left over from Bandit Tycoon. And then you get a boost to attack based on bounty level. This goes up to I think 60%, was it?
For Knight's Creed?
For King's Creeds,
Creed?
yeah.
King's Creed, because I see that it's 1%
perpetuity. Okay.
Perpetuity per bounty, which is pretty good.
Right. And then this doesn't allow you to go to 10, does it?
No, you still need TN.
TN or a Damascus knife for that. So, but it's still only 1% perpetuity, so you won't miss it that much.
I play TN. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good with TN. All right, so we got King's Methods. So when you're doing the gun/dagger stuff, then you get a boost to your attack specs. And by attack specs, we mean, let's see here, where does it show that? It is 20% boost to multi-attack, 20% boost to attack on the normal mod. And then you also don't eat up your salted wound when you're doing skill damage.
But that's only if you have one gun and one dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So, you kind of want to actually have Chateau Royal go off.
Mm-hmm.
Because that thing hits hard. So you don't. So you kind of want to avoid eating up your salted wound.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so here's the last one, the King Smarts. This is the Nighthound part. When you're a sub-ally, so Nighthound, when you go into the back, you become a sniper, and on Chain Burst, you do a nuke. On this one, every 3 turns, you send goons, and they hit twice.
Yep, and the thing is, so you get stacking attack, defense, and debuff resist down. The stacking attack and defense is actually 15% that stacks to 40. So,
it's so funny though. You actually send thugs. It's so good.
It's actually thugs. They actually appear on the screen.
It is, wow. It's so good. All right, and then let's go talk about the new extended masteries. So you were talking about Couteau Royale, which is 8-hit elemental damage, and
8, you say?
You get bonus damage based on the bounty level, so it's 1 every 2 levels, I believe.
It is
to a maximum of 5 hits.
Yeah. So when I was using this earlier, I think I hit 10 million on this skill.
Because you get the uncap on it from Aperitif then? Let's see. Banquet. 2 turns, you get Onslaught. Yeah. Your caster deals triple attacks, which it must be noted is a full turn. So if you're doing things like the Sun or attacking out of turn with someone like Grand Percival or just any number of other characters, then you get this effect multiple times. Yeah, this one's pretty good.
Yeah, that thing was sick.
Here's Parfait. So all allies get the Parfait effect, which is boost to bounty hunter success, boost to attack specs based on foe's bounty level.
So this is the one you were thinking of, by the way. It's 5% perpetuity modifier for each bounty level.
There it is. Okay, so it's up to 50% then.
And 2% damage cap.
So 50-20 if you can get to bounty hunt 10.
The damage cap actually caps at 10.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, that one's kind of
That's fair. So, I mean, boost to attack specs based on that, and then you get an extension based on um, the. Let's see.
If you have the Ox weapons,
Okay.
it extends by 5 turns.
Okay.
So it's 8 turns instead of 3.
Which is important because this cooldown is 12 turns. That's a long ass cooldown. Um, so this isn't one of the like better team steroids that's available at tier 4. You have a lot of that in like Spartan and things like that. But it's combined with all of the other stuff that you get as Street King. It's quite good. And then
I combine that with Tien being over there.
yeah. All right, the last thing we have to talk about here is the combo piece here. So when you fake your death and switch out with an ally, then you give way to the first person in the back line. Because you actually died, then someone like an evoker will have their upright passive go off,
It counts as a knockout, so also triggers.
and pain of death as well.
Yep.
So then you give them hostility up, DATA up, attack defense up, and then when you come back as the MC, then you get the quote unquote true heir, and the true heir um, is, let's see, so it takes that away, and then you get 1 turn reduction on your cooldowns, I believe.
It is 1 turn reduction on your cooldowns, and you remove the hostility actually.
Okay, so the hostility's gone, right? Because the hostility's kind of meant to get you
To
back
kill the
in.
other person.
So there's a ton of different combos with this. As we mentioned, it doesn't do anything for near because like I've activated near 4. Wait, where does this
The
go?
main character is not here after because when she dies.
Yeah, so it's like you can do this weird dance if you want, where you sack yourself to bring in near, then you like Luna sack somebody to bring in your main character, then
And then you
you
death
sack
Luna.
Luna, and it's just like, why do you need so many steps when you have access to death and you can just
Because
death?
Ilsa, you have a better Ilsa turn.
I guess. That's so that you've just done death with more steps.
Yeah, but that's 1 extra death that you would have had.
I guess so that means Ilsa gets an extra strike. Okay,
Exactly.
that's that's a legitimate reason.
One of my favorite is tagging into to Summer Chloe, and she tags back
Oh
out.
right, she can tag back out. Yeah. Um, the there's a Bale swap engine in Light now, which is really funny to me because the way the timings work out is that so you sack the MC to bring in Geisenborger with Makura in front, and as long as nobody on your team buffs or heals Geisenborger, he dies. Um, and so Makura swaps to the back and brings in your MC to Makura's position. And then right after that, Geisenborger dies and brings in Makura, who then repowers herself up to maximum.
Yeah. Well, she already could have done that, but it's just that you can give her the MC it instead.
Yeah. And so you have all sorts of shenanigans that are going on in Light. You can,
Yeah, because before it used to be you just night hounded yourself.
mhm.
With reposition now you just do the same but you get buffs.
And not just that, but you also get the extra safety of just having Geisenborger in front for those turns. So you're guaranteed multiple times to um, just have, Geisenberger will like all sub the first turn, and then the second turn your Makura will probably CA, so she can protect her buffs again for another turn. All sorts of stuff like that. Reno's like, yeah,
And
look, sheep.
also he also has increased hostility from casting skill 1,
Yeah, and so
which she kind of needs the hostility off of her because her skill 1 gives her hostility.
yeah. So anyway, like the Frau swap into front on turn 1 is actually pretty dang solid. Um, and then you can find ways to bring the MC back in fairly easily.
My favorite is Frau actually being in the back when you cast TN's skill for onslaught.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 3 turns or
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever it is, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's increased by a turn, and then she doubles it, and then I think that's up for 6 turns. Let me double check
That's
the
a lot.
math.
That's a lot. But then it's like, um, bringing in a fully powered Kime, bringing in a fully powered Lobelia.
Yeah, so
Those are
before then it
nuts.
turns into six of a 6 turn cooldown of final order.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that Wind cares that much about bringing in a fully powered Astariola on turn one.
I don't think Wind cares.
Yeah. And then so, I mean, Earth, Fire, hopefully Water soon. We'll see what happens with the Hosselia update.
Light doesn't care about bringing in Geisenborger.
There's specific uses like we mentioned, but yeah, this is
It's
it's
very
very
niche compared to like every other use of Geisenberger of be in the back row so I don't die to Arch Nemesis.
yeah, that's true. All right, so that's those. Uh, those are fun ones. Now we can get into the summer characters, right? We've
Yes.
made it. We've made it this far.
Anyways, it happened.
So we have ourselves in a set of 3 new characters and 1 summon that brings our summer slash Yukata count this year to 15, 2 more than last year.
It's
Um,
okay. There was a rate up, so
yeah, they increased the rate up to the point where people, if they want to roll, and they gave us 120 free runs. Uh, the rate ups on this are structured in such a way that the returning 2023 characters, who are from the first part of the year, and the 3 current characters, they're a 0.5% each, plus the summon with another 0.5% is 4%. So if you roll an
it's like
SSR
and
at
also like
all,
0.3% for Charlotte, I believe.
yeah. So if you at all see a rainbow, there's a 2 out of 3 chance it's a rate up character, which means that people who've been sparking on this banner are like, I got 5 Monikas. I have,
I
you know,
definitely got 5 Monicas.
yeah, they're just like, I have 6 Ilsas. It's like, oh, okay. The rate up has been the most real it's ever been. 1, because they gave us enough rolls to see it, and 2, because the rate up is high enough to really be noticeable.
Like before, it was like 0.2% each time for each character on
Hmm.
for the rate of characters. It's like okay.
Yeah, Rod Rant's just like, they have successfully made me not miss the end of Summer Premium Gala. It's like, yeah, they
Like
they
I
successfully.
literally got every character before I hit 200
Hmm.
in each of these sparks this summer.
Yeah, this is
This one
this
I
is a,
got, and I said 200 by the way.
yeah, this is a positive change. Just like I remember thinking about this with the whole like grass is greener thing, where what was it back in FGO with not they don't really their rate ups are significant, but they're
It's point seven. It was 0.7%
out of
of
what is it 1.5
it was a 1% chance to get a
out of
5 stars
1%.
SSR character.
Okay, so it was 7 out of once you actually saw that it was a 5-star, then it was a 70% chance of being the one that you wanted.
And 3 times in a row was Jean d'Arc for me. So,
Rip.
it feels bad.
All right, so
I am still mad.
yeah. All right, here we go with the first of them. So the funny thing is that before Vania came out, I was like counting down. It's like, all right, so what characters are clearly made to work with a luminous weapon? And then I got pinged within 10 minutes of Vania's release. Like, we've added one because, like, I know she doesn't need it, but it's really funny that she has a bunch of like flashing signs that say, "Hey, hey, Murcielago is a weapon that exists. Everybody, you should, you might want to take a look at it. This illustrious weapon. It's kind of good." Because Murcielago, as people may or may not remember, cares about draining HP and draining charge diamonds. It's like it's a vampire bow, okay? So now they give us a vampire, and she does both of these things. Note
And
that.
also, she's also in the right element.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got Vania. Her CA wants her to cast her skill 2 over and over again. So we'll get
Yeah,
back
the
to that in
Crimson
a second.
Order. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the number one thing to look at, in my opinion, is Reaping Wings because that's the one that gets cast the most often.
It's a 6 turn cooldown. What does it do? It removes a buff, so it's Vania. It drains. She's a vampire, and you get one time sharp attack assassin.
Yeah. And so when you cast this on turn 1, she also has the secret triad effect, which is fill 3 charge diamonds on a foe. So you will suck out one of the dots that you've given them. And then she has an assassin uncap on that first turn. And as long as she drained a foe's HP, then she casts it again at the end of the turn to drain them again out of the 3 diamonds she gave them, and get another assassin the next turn, which gives her another of her regal drops.
Please note that Crimson Order actually has a drain, so that will happen.
And it lasts for 5 turns. 5 turns.
It lasts for 5 turns. Every character does it, by the way. Every character has this drain, so one of y'all better be hitting because in order to drain.
So
also, we should actually go straight to Queen's Charge 3 about that.
Sure, Queen's Charge 3. So she's gonna get these regal drops on turn 3 on her own, as long as she drained HP. If you're playing her with Mana Diver specifically, or something Murcielago related with Acrobatic Volley, Robin Hood, or something, then she'll get it turn 2. So she gains these effects in order based on her drops until she gets to 3. Step 1, guaranteed triple attacks.
She already does at turn 1. She's just triple attacking turn 1.
Then she gets Wind Chaser.
It's 20%.
And then amp normal attack damage.
20%.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, she's getting that turn by turn 2 in most cases.
Yeah, and then so she hits. So in the sequence, so she hits Crimson Order first. She's getting Drain. She's getting. She's giving everybody debuff resistance up, triple attack up, and then a Chaser. And also gives them damage cap up. Sorry. Is the damage cap up 10%?
15.
15. Even better.
Debuff resistance 100%.
But
triple attack is 50%. That's pretty good.
It's like, oh no, I've given them 3 charge diamonds. Good thing I have the stop sign.
Yeah, the Queen's Decree.
So we now have the character in Wind who has this, along with Light's Grand Cagliostro, along with Water's Summer Shalem. I can't exactly remember how many other stop signs there are right now. Oh, Summer Medusa, right?
Medusa, yeah.
Yeah, Summer Medusa is the other stop sign.
Yes, there's the Petrify one.
So, I mean, Normal Orchid says Earth Orchid, I believe, has the stop sign. Whoops, wrong one. Characters. Earth Melee.
No, technically, but yes, technically.
Yeah, it's not quite.
Because every other character we listed is literally the same effect.
Yeah. But anyway, we mentioned this.
Which is stop sign, 100% DA down, 100% TA down, and accuracy lowered.
Yeah. So, they don't do anything turn 1 except get sucked. Turn 2, like, this is powerful enough to be very noticeable, because if you fought Bennu, you know that what happens when you let an Omen through and he beats the ever-loving crap out of you. So it's like, in this one, he's like, punch. Oh, I missed. I don't have any more attacks left. And you're just like, thank you, Vania. You saved I owe you my life. But yeah, this one's super good. And then, you will essentially have freaking Assassin for the first, I think, 6 turns of the fight, as long as you don't petrify them. And as long as they don't, break.
So, yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's a whole lot.
They also have to have charge diamonds. There are some fights that don't.
Yeah. There's some fights
Granted,
that don't.
I don't think those are Earth fights, so or Earth bosses. So
and then if there's we already talked about Mana Diver as a class, and Mana Diver has its own button that also gives them 3 dots in case they just ran out of dots. You're like, I'd like
Also
to.
Chaser.
Yeah.
Also Meta Diver also likes triple wants to triple attack because they want to upkeep their meter,
Yep. To get Leviathan still going, and so
which is a different Chaser.
yeah, yeah, she's
I'm not sure
really
that I
good.
don't know if that actually stacks with her because it might be the same modifier because they're passives, but who
Hmm.
knows?
But yeah, this character is messed up,
As long as she doesn't miss her attack,
and
because otherwise she won't drain.
which means that she won't Reaping Wings, which means that she won't. Yeah.
Suck the diamond.
Also,
But she removes any like dodges anyways with her with reaping wings.
hmm
But I think that applies. I don't know if that applies simultaneously or not. Because if they dodge it, they don't get drained.
hmm
But you have to remove the dot. I think that actually. I think it's the other order.
yeah, she won't. So against, say, we have Wind favored Unite and Fight coming next month, and if at 50% the boss puts up an I don't take damage buff and she misses, then she will not dispel that automatically. She'll want.
Or also if the boss just somewhere deep buried in every other boss is a debuff resistance.
Hmm.
She can't drain if they have 100% debuff resistance.
Yeah, she can't suck the dot.
Yeah. Or she can't, do damage. If she doesn't do damage, she can't drain, which means she can't cast the buff remover. I
Yeah.
hate United Fight bosses sometimes.
But you know what, Rod Rant's right, where it's like maybe you just summon Gojo Sensei and he'll just be like, "Go ahead, just hit him." If I were you, I would simply hit them, which is a very Gojo thing to say. He's not a good teacher. He's just like, "Why don't you just hit them like this?" So anyway,
I
so
like how she has a dodge EMP. I also like how because of style she has a DAT EMP. She doesn't
even
really need it, but
no,
it's because there is an off chance that she's not gonna DA or
yep,
even TA because
yeah.
you missed your drain.
So anyway, A plus character for Vania. Like,
She's amazing.
yeah. Um, we have ourselves the Summer Sheep is next. She's water.
The other summer sheep.
Yeah, that's true. Yukata sheep specifically.
Yeah.
She's um so this matters for me and me specifically. She's spear. Yay. She slots in very, very easily with a built-in spear team that you may have already been using because I was using it Poseidon and Zeta already.
I mean, that only matters if you actually care about their weapon specialties, though.
Well, she just plain works with them because
Yeah, it's true, but still,
yeah, because
like
it's like
I'm using an axe for
yeah.
this team right now.
So it's like here's the big summer stage. This is the thing. This is one of the big signposts to tell you what to do. So number one, her normal attacks are 2 hits and random foes.
Instead of three, but she
Right.
doesn't have a meter penalty.
hmm At the end of the turn, when allies have dealt 20 or more damage instances to the current target, then everyone gets Chaser, and she gets a specific buff to herself called Euphoria, and it goes to
By the
5.
way, the chaser is a pure element.
So it stacks with normal ones. It doesn't stack with someone like, say, um, Water Korwa, but oh well.
That's fine. You know,
How big is the Chaser? Did you look that up before we started, or should I
the
look it up?
numbers I can't see on the screen.
Yeah, you're right. Because she has two. She has a freaking 2 hit, so she's spamming the screen with numbers. If you're working with Zeta, she's spamming the screen with numbers. Plus, I've never been able to tell how much damage Poseidon is doing.
My Poseidon without any debuffs on the enemy on the stupid puppet does 3.9 million on turn one without his her superior element chaser. By the way,
All right, so I'm just looking on Game With right now. One
it's
second.
10% apparently.
It's 10% superior for
That's fine.
yeah,
It could have been 5 for all I cared.
because it's getting supplemented so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so based on her Euphoria, so in step 1, she'll get multi attacks. Um, step 2, she gets attack up.
I don't have numbers. This character's too new.
So I have it here. It is 30% perpetuity.
That's pretty good.
Next up, yeah,
Especially since we're gonna go to the next one.
amplify normal attack damage. This one's a 20% amp.
That's pretty good when you're splitting your damage too.
Mm-hmm. Then it's a 10% damage cap on the fourth one, and the fifth one is she has permanent dispel cancel.
Sure.
So
you have so much buffs anyways.
yeah, so this set of passives is where you start. Everything else is here to support that. So we start with sheer brilliance.
The boss can't even remove your superior elemental damage anyways. It
Yeah.
happens at the end of turn.
All right. So we've got massive water damage to foe. Sure. It ends cooldown for her skill 2, which is very similar to her swimsuit version. And then she also gets a 1-turn cooldown to her skill 3.
Skill 3.
Which you also can't use for a little while anyway at the start of the fight. It takes a minimum of 5 turns to get this.
There's no way to cheat that out unless... Yeah, no, there's no way you can cheat that out because the buff gets gained at the end of turn.
Mm-hmm. So that last part doesn't really matter that much until you actually have it going. And then, so here's Sheep Sweep. She has a 5-hit nuke, which delays and has minus water defense. The water defense down is, hold on,
25?
Sorry. Something like that.
I don't actually have the number. It's either 25 or 20. If it's not, why even put it on the character?
To break omens, I guess. All right, let's take a look. It is the water defense down is 20%.
Okay, that's fair.
It's also got a slow. All right, the next one is it's very similar to her swimsuit version. She triple attacks. She gives strength. The main thing is that she has to have Euphoria 3 or higher to have this affect everybody, as opposed to her
what's the
swimsuit
heal
version.
On it?
The heal is 2015.
You got me there.
Yeah.
Happy Year of the Sheep, everybody.
Year of the Sheep. And so this one is how you actually get the Euphoria up. So every turn she CAs, then everybody's going to well, at least she's going to triple attack, which guarantees 4 minimum, most likely 6 to 8. And then yeah, this is the last one. This is your reward for doing all of this stuff for the rest of your team, not just her. It's a 15-hit nuke. In an element with Knight of Ice, with an element with, the Wamdis's Kinetosite. Water allies attack without using up a turn, and then Anila gets skill sealed. It's like, yeah, okay.
So the skill shield cannot be removed, but it can be lowered. Unfortunately, there's only 2 ways to do this in Water I can think of. And one of them sucks.
Sophia, right? Water Sophia?
There's 3 ways.
Because Water Sophia, I believe, reduces when she's in medical mode. Let me make sure of this. There's so many. All right, here's Water Sophia. No, it's remove a buff there. It's remove a debuff. Never mind. It's not shortened.
All right, 2 ways.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking
at it
wrong. Well, it wasn't Sophia.
One of them is Kupitan.
Oh, okay.
But she has to have the right arrow.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Mirren, and Mirren needs a CA.
Yeah. All right.
In order to be able to do it.
So yeah, but that's an anti-Keelan clause, and it's already built in such a way that you're not going to use a Keelan friend with the Water Sheep ultimate there. But
it only cuts up by 1 each CA, and that's if you're CAing, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people will just turn off CA for her.
I have turned off my meter.
Falsehood. Yeah.
My team actually in Shiva right now for this.
Mm-hmm.
It is Cassius, because he doesn't need to CA in order to do his stuff.
Right, it's just based on skill casts.
Poseidon and her.
Mm-hmm.
The main character is Monodiver. I gain my meter by draining my health.
That's fair. Or you just press Overtrance and you just have meter for what, 6 turns?
I
4 turns?
don't because Poseidon can still not Poseidon. Shiva can still kill me.
Mm.
So I have the skill that gives a blind.
Ah, okay. The haze. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, so that's another strong one, this sheep. And then the last one we have for characters is Saruel over here, who's long overdue. We've had okay, what year was Summer Hellas?
I'm just mad at Light again. Why can't we just rework Light and make this another element?
True enough. All right, so Summer Hellas was what, the year of our Lord 2016? 2016. So we've had this design for 7 years. They've been sitting on this design and haven't released this character that whole time because let's see, Light Spear. We have ourselves Summer Hellas over here, and he's been freaking applying like sunblock to his sister for 7 summers now, and now he's finally out of jail. Anyway, uh, we got one of them. Who's left? I think Valena is still someone who doesn't have her design, even though her own character, even though she has a summer design. A couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the character himself is pretty straightforward. Um, it's iterating on his original design. So
Instead of quick raid, it's sunlight raid and better.
yeah, so Guardian of the Lock is where you start. He used to activate quick raid every 3 turns. It used to just be a short cooldown nuke. Then they realized that it's tedious and bad, so they just don't do that anymore and just have it autocast. Um, but here's the new Sunlight raid. So it is 2 hits of light damage. It heals.
Do you know how much it heals?
Let me make sure of this. Let me go over to the game with again. Whoops. All right, light swimsuit Saruel. So it heals for 2,000.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's 20% meter to everybody, so it takes his original skill 3 and puts it here. And then it raises Saruel's Soulless level by 1. So turn 1, you hit this, everybody gets 20 meter. Turn 3, he hits it again. And then
Oh yeah, by autocast.
yeah, turn 4 and turn 7, and then you get the 3 effect. And then
on turn 8 when it's off cooldown.
When it's off cooldown, you hit Sunlight Raid, and everybody gets 100 meter when he does this. Other things though, so you actually get to you still like do CA loop things very quickly because his CA gives 10% meter to everybody.
Yeah.
He also has CA reactivation
On skill 2, yeah.
Yeah, on a 7-turn cooldown. Notably, it doesn't give him full meter when he presses it. So
I mean, he gets full meter from Sunlight Raid, so
yeah. And then Royal Prominence is the last one. It's the update of whatever it was his skill 2 on his original version.
Royal Curtain.
Royal Curtain. So you still get the Veil. Then you get Revitalize, and now the new thing for 2023, Dispel Cancel.
So the thing is that the CA looping already exists in Light.
Mm-hmm.
This is technically better, and go to Princess Command for a reason why.
Yeah, upon casting Ascension, the chain burst with 4 characters or more. 4 CAs or more because of how reactivation works. 10 hits of light damage, and you get a 1-turn cut to his CA reactivate and the boost to allies' CA specs.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Basically, like this summer for light, you've gotten your choice between either just doing giant end of turn damage with Saruel for CAing, or you get it from your giant end of turn damage from Urias for applying, what was it, 5 debuffs?
5 debuffs.
5 debuffs. Which, by the
And
way,
where we still need that update where he can cast skill 1.
yeah, we're gonna get that update at some point where he can actually cast the skill 1 on full auto. We'll talk about that when we get there. But it was announced at the, it was announced at the summer stream. But anyway, so yeah, that's them.
The team I saw with this happening with was Light Clarice,
Juliet, right?
Juliet,
Yeah.
Cyril in the back so he can give the 10% meter at the end, and backline Aglovale in order to make sure that we keep Juliet's light crest up.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because even though what's his face, Aglovale can give you meter, it's not consistent.
No.
And if you don't need to use like Uni every turn, keep your HP up. This is just so much damage each turn. It's amazing.
Yeah. And then the light ascension team has also like the staying power comes from like Juliet and your MC, but also you can always try and sneak in good old Holiday Lily if you want. She's also there and ready to protect you when you ascension. Where is she? There she is.
She gives like a heal and shield, I think.
So on ascension, she gets 10 meter to everybody, and it's Holiday Illumination, which is a heal and boost to meter gain.
And booster light attack. That helps if you're not doing Lucy as your other thing.
Yeah, and on her CA itself also removes debuffs from you, so she can help with that as well. So anyway, there's a lot of options, and those are all the characters for the summer. That's all 15. We've gotten through them.
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah. The last one, they made this for me, DJ.
Yeah.
Swimsuit
no, they made it for Daryl.
They did make it for Daryl also, but dumb New Year's daughter Tira, she's got a job. She's working security at a resort.
At the Aloha's.
Yeah. And so her call is uplift, but the actual thing that she does at let's see here. Let me make sure of my notes on what goes where, because there are 3 things that all upgrade when you get this summon to.
So I'll actually list up the Soboris. So at 0-star, you just start off with a 30% CA damage up. At 3-star, you also get a 15% CA damage cap up at start. And at 4-star, MC also gets CA reactivate.
There it is. So yeah, the funny thing is, it's like, oh man, this replaces Benito. It's like, no, it doesn't. It makes Benito better.
Yeah.
You can CA 3 times in the first turn, like summoning Benito. So there is a use for her as a main summon also. So as a main summon,
she has 3% water ally charge bar at start.
And so that puts her on the same lines as Tsushinoko, where you can put her in front, and then summon her for her actual effect, and her summon effect at 4 stars gives 1 million supplemental CA damage. 1 million.
That's pretty good.
One time. And so, there's a lot of like short-term strategies you can do with either the main summon or the sub-summon effect.
This thing has 130% water elemental attack, I just noticed.
Yeah.
That's way better. That's way better than having this stupid light horse.
Yeah. So 30% boost, like I said, it's very comparable to people who've been using Tsuchinoko for that for a couple years. So you start with full meter, and then you summon, you either summon her or you Yadima or something, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And so you can either have your MC CA, your entire team CA with 1 million supplement, or you can do it with just pressing no buttons, or you can have her as a sub, and when you bring in the Benito, then you just have CA reactivate, or you can just use her as a sub in general, and she just gives you CA reactivate, no questions asked. Like you can just use her as a passive CA reactivate one time on your MC if you want to make room for that in your very short fight. Like,
She also has just uplift, by the way.
yeah,
10% uplift. You
sure.
don't it's not revitalized, so you don't need to be at full HP in order to use it. And this is a 6-turn cooldown at 3-star and 4-star.
Which one? The supplement? Is it? I believe the
The
supplement is true one time.
but the cooldown.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Repeatable summon. Let me make sure of Tyrannosaurus over on the Japanese side because Wiki doesn't have quite everything yet. So on call, it is one time, not one turn for the CA 1 million supplemental.
So
But
you can't it doesn't trigger multiple times in the same CA chains.
yep,
However, you get this every 6 turns, less if you have Bahamut.
yeah, yeah. This is fun.
Less if you have Yadima, because
Yeah,
you can roll it with Yadima.
yeah. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm just going to, casually pull this out of my. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Search SSR water. Where'd she go? Is she already in my inventory? Summons.
Well, considering that those summons were from June.
Oh, am I sorting by old? Nope, she's right here.
No, your summons in your inbox was in by June.
Okay, so anyway, don't mind me. I'm just doing the thing. I will wait one more free roll before I do the rest of this, but anyway, I've committed at least this much.
I've rolled 2 of them.
I rolled one. I'm happy with just the one.
I
I
have
should
not finished the what's it called?
the spark.
The spark yet.
Neither have I. But I'm probably just picking up Cosmos so instead of just a Sunlight Stone. So let's just do that right now. So yeah, great summer, huh, DJ?
Summer's been great.
Yeah.
We got so many crystals and stuff.
Yeah, dude, I still have 2 sparks just sitting here. Well,
Let
it's
me
not
see how much
actually
I
2.
have.
I have 1.5. I'm sorry. It'll be 2 by the time the next holiday comes around. Yeesh.
I have 150k crystals, so
Yeah, I have 141k.
1.5.
Yeah.
I still have not bought my skins yet.
Boy, this was a good one. This was a
Yeah,
good one, DJ.
yeah.
And
The
then
rate up's real.
yeah. Um,
I literally saw it before every spark, pretty much.
let's see. Was there anything that we missed? There's King. Here's Fraux and Lobelia. There were new missions that we just insta-claimed because we've already done these things. It's like, oh, that was nice. Thanks for the free stuff.
Oh, is that why I had so much stuff in my inbox?
Yes, including 400 crystals for unlocking a row 5 class,
That's
but
why
also
it
just
was
a bunch of
there was
pendants.
just 400 in there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We talked about the UI update. Xeno skip is nice. I mean, more skips is more good.
Yeah, you'll get AX skills from that, so
Yeah. Um, the funniest thing to me, so we had our crewmate, well, our crewmate Trip, he went through on his own. The main character's charge attack has been changed in side story quests. It went from the old, um, what was it? The one where you do 3 swings and you just spin the sword at the end
Yeah,
into the
from the
new
base
like,
class.
yeah, from the base class into Tempest Blade. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
They just, it's like it's an updated CA on the generic fighter look, so yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so that's what we got. Next week we have the changes that were originally that were scheduled for. It was August 22nd is the next wave of big news. So we have, let's see, we have some reruns coming on the 22nd. We have the Zvi fight coming on the
oh yeah, we have to
22nd.
fight her.
Yeah. Um, Let me make sure of what else we have coming. We We have. Does anybody else remember?
It's so hard to search for anything on the web page.
I'm so sorry about that.
Well, you can't change WordPress.
I know. All right, so we'll be getting the new FP system on the 22nd.
That one's kind of hard to implement though, because there's a lot of fights I see where the FP system is happening, and there's like 1% HP left.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think they need to rework that part, because
Yeah.
there's like literally sometimes I can't even join one.
Right. We'll see what happens with that. The 29th is the update to full auto. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens next week. We'll see how they come through with the FP system, because yeah, like if you're trying to actually get into something that has had its BP reduced, it's like I can't find it. How do you find it?
You just come across it in circumstance or happenstance. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens with that one. August 25th, we get our new summer missions. That's in 2 shows from now. But anyway, that's it. That's it for this week. We have done it.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm in Japan in 2 weeks.
You're in Japan in 2 weeks. Maybe we'll do this again on a. We'll see what happens. We'll figure something out. Reno's like, you search for Seiphon tier 8s.
Hold on, what time is it in Japan right now?
It is currently 2 p.m.
I think I'll be out and about during that time. Normally.
Yeah.
I could just stay and do stuff in the wait for a hotel room, because I'm literally working in Japan 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So yeah.
You're doing that again?
Yeah, I still only make money.
That's fair. I mean, I'm going to be working from Japan, but I also probably will be working Japanese hours.
I need to make sure I actually talk to my devs.
That's fair. All right. So anyway, we'll see how that system works out. You have your misgivings about it, and I do too. We'll see how it goes. But until then, thanks everybody. We will see you again next time. DJ, say thank you to Machiko for me. Her songs gave my spark a lot of power.
I'm gonna wait. Which ones did you choose from hers?
The cursed ones. So do the idol.
Why didn't you choose Precure, Tropical Rouge Precure?
Well, that's the thing, is that so it started with Do the Idol. I'm like, why is this so powerful? Then I ran out of Do the Idol mixes. So I went over to I tried Stay Free. It turns out that Stay Free is just not very good for this, and also I don't like it as much as the other ones.
Wait, which one's Stay Free?
That's the Konosuba
season
3, the Bakuhatsu one.
It's not season 3 because that happens before.
It's the third show in the Konosuba franchise. And then Precure was the end, and it wrapped up the whole like 9% spark thing for me. 8.67, but still. It's like,
I mean, that's better than my sparks.
It's better than my spark previously. It's like, I didn't think it got better. That's wild. Anyway, thank Machiko for me when you see her.
I'll just show her a picture of Tira.
I mean, if they had allowed personal items to be signed, I would have tried to just go up there and just send the Tira Valentine up with you guys and see what happened.
Oh. But we cannot.
Yeah.
However, I'm still gonna try to take a picture of Miku in the frying pan.
That's fair. Chupa.
Stupid Chupacabra.
All right. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks,
Later.
everyone.